high school literacy leaders, welcome back to Curriculum Chats. This is DLC Foster Yankee, and in this video, I'll be discussing Lesson 4 in the second section of the Things Fall Apart unit. In this lesson, students will synthesize information from multiple texts to create new understanding about the novel, analyze how historical and cultural settings influence characterization, plot, and theme in the novel, as well as the text, and write using standard English conventions, including a variety of complete, controlled sentences and avoidance of unintentional splices, run-ons, and fragments. The texts for this lesson are Things Fall Apart and Igbo Culture and History. And the materials for this lesson are the Forming Evidence-Based Claims Tool, Mentor Sentence Journal, Vocabulary Journal, Claims Reference Guide, and the Section 2 question set. For the lesson overview, we will study chapters 16 and 17, looking closely at the attitudes of the missionaries and the Igbo tribe, as there are 5 activities in this lesson, and I will take a closer look at each of them. In the first activity, the teacher explains that an appositive is a noun or noun phrase that provides additional information about the subject of a sentence using the example on the screen. Okonkwo, a fierce warrior and wrestler, is unable to be a kind father or husband. The teacher explains that the underlined section of the sentence, which I'm guessing they underlined because it's not underlined in the example, is an appositive as it provides additional information about Okonkwo. Appositives are a simple way to add complexity and detail to a sentence. Next, students practice adding an appositive to the following sentence from the novel. Uchendu, fill in the blank, pulled gently at his gray beard and gnashed his teeth. Finally, students write 4 sentences using appositives to describe 4 different characters from Things Fall Apart. Next, students read pages Roman numeral 41 to Roman numeral 44 from the missionary factor and respond to the questions on the screen in their learning logs. What was the role of Christian missionaries in colonized Nigeria? Cite evidence from the text to support your response. What do you think the role of missionaries will be in Things Fall Apart? In Activity 3, students use the Forming Evidence-Based Claims tool to write down the guiding question. How do the missionaries impact Okonkwo, his community, and his culture? As they read the text, they pay attention to details that relate to the guiding question. Depending on how long the section of text is, they might find several examples. The Attend to Details row is used to write down details that strongly relate to the guiding question. This will help them narrow down the most relevant details related to the questions. They should include page numbers and, if necessary, return later to get exact quotes or provide more clarity. Students write their thinking in the Analyze the Details row, and in the third row, explain connections, write down their thinking regarding how the details connect to each other. Once they've generated an evidence-based claim or examined an existing claim, students use the tool to explain to others how they derived the claim and to provide support for their argument. To conclude this activity, asking themselves the questions on the screen. Is the claim clearly stated? Does the claim communicate your opinion or conclusion about your character? Is the claim based on evidence that you gathered from the text? Is the claim supported by evidence? If they answered no to any of the questions, they'll need to revise their claim. To support students, the teacher might refer to the claims reference guide. Consider suggesting what type of claim students might produce based on the text and the guiding question they are using to analyze it. For example, the teacher might model how to write an analytical or interpretive claim in which students state observations or conclusions they have reached by closely examining information or ideas, such as how interpretations of themes are developed and communicated in the text. The class might discuss the line from Mr. Kiaga on page 152, "Blessed is he who forsakes his father and his mother for my sake." This line comes from Matthew 19, verse 29, which students might be interested in reading for context. It is followed by the famous verse, "But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first." The teacher can ask students to consider how Nwoye would receive that message. Next, students revisit pages 41 through 44 of the missionary factor and discuss the question on the screen. Considering what you read in the missionary factor, explain the different perspectives Okonkwo and Nwoye hold regarding the missionaries. Cite evidence from the text to support your answer. This lesson concludes with students reading chapters 18 through 19 and responding to the questions on the screen from the Section 2 question set to focus their understanding. They also write down new or interesting words from chapters 18 and 19 in their vocabulary journals and at least 2 sentences from chapters 18 and 19 in their mentor sentence journal. And we have our cub, which is based on activity 4. The role of students will know the role of missionaries in colonized Nigeria. They'll understand, should be 1, how historical and cultural settings influence characterization, plot, and theme in the novel, and be able to discuss in groups and write a response to, considering what you read in the missionary factor, explain the different perspectives Okonkwo and Nwoye hold regarding the missionaries. Cite evidence from both texts to support your answer. That's a wrap for this video. I welcome your feedback and look forward to hearing from you either on Twitter, via email, or in the comments. While you're here, don't forget to subscribe so you never have to worry about missing a video. Thanks for watching.